It's 3 a.m. in the morning. And does this happen to you? You just get up. You didn't have a bad dream. Maybe I can recall dreaming a couple things. But it's the weirdest thing that happens. It doesn't happen often. But I get up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's almost like this is the moment of pure peace for me. It's a moment of awareness where, for me, where I'm at the planet, is peaceful, quiet, no traffic. It has been raining for a few days, so every now and then, some rain passing through. But it kind of reminds me when I was on my journey of being a composer, there was a time where I could only really write good music between 11 and 4 in the morning because I felt that the energy of the world where I was at least in my immediate vicinity, everybody around me was asleep. And I found myself being the most productive. However, today that's not the case. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe some of it has to do with my age. I don't have a real complex life. I don't have a lot of anxieties about the future, except for staying alive. That's always a good one, just health-wise. And but what starts to kind of soak in is that I find myself, funny enough, because I'm doing this and this is going to go on YouTube, I found in the last 10 days that I've cut back at about 70% of my phone time, the casual looking through just because I'm bored doom scrolling, if that's a thing. And last week there was a major film being shot at the nonprofit where I work. And in order to help this nonprofit manage some, flow between location and transpo people and then, visitors to the nonprofit, I was positioned in a place where I had zero phone reception, zero anything reception. So it was just me sitting there, smiling, engaging with guests, making sure they found their way through where they wanted to go. Also, hanging out with, the transpo people and stuff as they would drive by. It's a very courteous, hey, how's it every time you drive by? And after 4 or 5 days, get to know a few of the people. And it was really kind of a fun thing for me, even though I was on my feet a lot. What I did realize is that my cell phone use went whoosh, because I didn't have any connectivity. And it's really funny because I feel like what happens right now in this zone when it's like 3:30 in the morning, I feel like there's no connectivity in real time, right now present, to the energy around the world in my vicinity, as I said earlier. And I find it to be very, very peaceful, even though this really does break up my day. And I got to be up by 7 o'clock and, take a quick shower and run over to the nonprofit and do some work. But I find myself, I get home a little tired and stuff. But I think this is my pattern now, is to wake up at around 3:30 in the morning for a few hours. I cave in. I make my coffee. Sorry for the ASMR there. But I feel that, when people talk about, oh, you got to wake up at 3:30, something could be wrong. Because remember, we go into that, right? We've talked about this, or I've talked about this in other, postings about, well, if you're doing this, you're probably associated with some kind of psychological, funnel they put you in, and you're this, instead of just being present. This is what it is. I'm lucky enough that when I get back from doing what I do at the nonprofit, because I'm by myself, I could take a nap for a couple of hours. It doesn't matter. But then again, the naps could be throwing me. But this is my 3:30 in the morning hot cup of coffee awareness about peacefulness. Not in a Zen kind of way, but just really feeling the fact that even since I've been doing this. Not one car has, when they go by and I can see reflections and stuff, not one car's gone by. Look out the windows. Before I started this video, all the lights in the houses are off. I even walked out front for a second just to take a deep breath and just be a part of that very unique 3 o'clock in the morning peacefulness. It's funny sometimes that dialed down answer to the life's anxieties is steps away from you. You just have to know when to grab it. So I don't really have a point to what I'm saying, except it's 3:30 in the morning and it's quiet, except for me drinking the coffee. I hope you guys just have a really wonderful day. And if you're having any challenges, they too shall pass. But remember, you got to count the wins. Always count the wins. That is all. See ya.